The most important thing you need to know about Rocksmith is that this game's controller isn't a plastic peripheral or some highly modified standard guitar. Any old guitar lying around in your closet will do the trick. And that's really the biggest thing that separates this game from Guitar Hero, Rock Band, or, dare we say it, Power Gig. All you really need is a special little USB adapter, and suddenly your video game system is talking directly with that dusty old guitar you got for your birthday 7 years ago. So yes, when you're playing Rocksmith, you're playing real guitar. Ubisoft's goal is to make a game that teaches people the techniques and fundamentals they need to play real songs. But like playing real guitar, there is a learning curve. The game does its best to ease you into the experience, starting you off with basic lessons on what a note is before throwing more advanced techniques your way as time goes on. Like you'd expect, all this stuff is built into the progression of the career mode. But perhaps more interesting is the way difficulty levels work. There really aren't any. Instead, the game adjusts to your skills on the fly. When you start a song for the first time, you're only given a small handful of simple notes to play, sort of like the basic skeleton of the song. The better you do, the more that skeleton fills in, with extra notes and riffs coming your way along the note highway. So take David Bowie's Rebel Rebel, for example. It's a classic song with one main riff that repeats throughout the entire thing. At the beginning of the song, we were plucking a bare-bones, stripped-down version of that riff, but as we kept hitting the right notes, the game scaled up the difficulty on the fly and started providing more and more of the actual guitar riff until the end of the song, we were playing almost the entire thing. It's hard to describe how it feels when you work your way up the ladder like this, but man does it feel good. Outside of individual songs, your progression is saved to an overall player profile that'll also determine how good you've been getting at certain songs and adjust how much of that song you see the next time you play it. Another way you can improve your technique is through the use of the Guitarcade minigames. Rocksmith offers a number of surprisingly interesting minigames where you use special guitar techniques to control what happens on a traditional retro video game. This includes things like learning fret numbers to shoot ducks, learning strings and bends to play a baseball game, using scales to play a platformer, using slides to play a Tetris-style block-falling game, and even one where you play chords to defeat zombies. They all sound kind of silly, but at the same time, you're learning real guitar techniques as you play them, which is pretty cool. Other features in Rocksmith include the ability to create custom guitar tones by choosing an amplifier, an effects pedal, and then fiddling with a bunch of dials and sliders to craft your own personalized sound. What's cool about this feature is that you can map these custom tones to the controller face buttons and choose how your guitar sounds during the middle of a song. It's a pretty neat little feature. Overall, Rocksmith looks like a very promising addition to the rhythm genre. The simple fact of the matter is that in this game you're playing real, honest-to-goodness guitar. The big question is just how good the game is at encouraging players to stick with it, because teaching your hands how to stretch and contort in entirely new ways is not an easy process. If Rocksmith gives players a reason to really stick at it and avoid the temptation to call it quits when they get their first cramped wrist, then it could really be something special. We'll all find out when Rocksmith is released on October 18th for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.